And so we're going to get into it now. How many of you have seen a chart like this? Just hands up, show me. Yeah, lots of you. Okay, good. So the ones that didn't raise your hands, if you haven't seen a chart like this, I promise this will be quick and painless. Okay. So we are looking at the menstrual cycle. And when I say menstrual cycle, I'm not talking just about your period. I'm talking about the totality of the cycle. So this is for most, the average sort of cycle length is somewhere between 26 and 34 days. All charts are 28. I don't know why, but if you're not 28, you're not abnormal. It's totally normal for you to have a 29 or 30 or 31 day cycle. Okay. Menstrual cycle is generally divided into two different parts, follicular, if you're looking at me this way, and luteal. In the follicular phase, bleed week. Everyone knows when they're bleeding, right? Shark Week, everyone knows that it's there, right? Day one, that was my silly joke, attempt at humor. Day one is, and I have Amy here to laugh at my joke so no one else does. Day one of your cycle is the first day of your bleed, okay? Average bleed for women, 3 to 7 days. Okay. And we can talk about quality and quantity and color of the blood. We can talk all about that as well. And then the second week is called the proliferative phase. And this is where we are working on developing the follicle. One special follicle that has been chosen above the rest to develop and eventually release the egg, which is ovulation, which, by the way, my friends, is the point of your cycle. It's not to bleed. I know that the bleed everyone gets all the attention. It's the popular girl at the party, but it is ovulation, which is the main point of your cycle. There are two hormones in the follicular phase that I want to bring your attention to. One is in pink and the other one's not on this chart. So the one in pink is estrogen. She is an anabolic hormone and she's a she, of course. So she is an anabolic hormone. She peaks late in the follicular phase. Okay. She's involved in that development of the follicle. And she's going to be important when we talk about muscle in just a moment. The other hormone, can anybody guess the other hormone that I might be talking about? You could just, A+ on your charts. Very good. Testosterone. Testosterone also peaks at about the same time as estrogen. Also an anabolic hormone. Famous for libido, right? Famous for muscle mass. And it's very interestingly, not a lot of people know this, but I suspect this front row might, that testosterone is the most abundant sex hormone in the female body. Yeah. So typically, we phenotypically ascribe estrogen as the dominant sex hormone. It's actually testosterone. And this becomes important in perimenopause as well. Luteal phase initiates with ovulation, the main point of your cycle. Another green hormone is the one I would like to direct your attention to there. It's called progesterone. You will not release progesterone unless you ovulate. Ovulation is a requirement for progesterone to show up. She's a little bit finicky. Okay. Progesterone has many functions in the body, helps you sleep. So she helps with quelling anxiety. This becomes important in perimenopause when progesterone begins to drop. She is warming. So if you wear a wearable like a ring or a Fitbit or something like that, or a Whoop, you'll notice that around ovulation and then right before you bleed, you're going to be warmer. Your basal body temperature is going to be elevated. Slows down your digestion, right? So you may have more GI distress during the second half of the cycle. And the other important thing that I want to talk about with progesterone is she likes to bring in her uterus ninjas and just beat the crap out of estrogen. Okay. Do we see another pink line in the luteal phase? Yes. So estrogen comes back for seconds, but the reason why it's not as high as it was in the follicular phase is because of progesterone. She downregulates. So progesterone will downregulate the estrogen receptors. So as the receptors are waiting for estrogen, she's going to say, like, you can be a little less sensitive. Like if estrogen passes by, like, don't be desperate. Just like, calm down a little bit. And through positive feedback loops in the brain, she will also downregulate total estrogen production. Most women experience PMS or some issue with their cycle in the second half of the cycle, the luteal phase. So you're not overreacting. It's your ovaries that are acting.